switch here. Am I correct in that Al Davis will be giving the first speech? Is that correct? Okay. And so it must be the evaluator that has changed. Is that now Lindsay? Is that?
Yeah. I'm his evaluator.
No, I thought Dinesh was going first.
Is Dinesh going first?
To make it easier, I wanted to leave after.
Oh,
the
okay.
first
All right. So Dinesh will be our first speaker. Okay. And your title is Priorities. Is that correct?
Okay.
And your evaluator is.
Lindsay.
And your evaluator will be
Lindsay,
Lindsay. Okay. Great. Thank you. Dinesh,
you
your.
want to hear from Lindsay?
Oh, Lindsay, could you give his objectives? I'm sorry.
Objectives.
So he's repeating this speech from 2016, and it's going to be 6 to 8 minutes long. And the speech goals are speech delivery, clarity, pauses, and effectiveness.
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay.
Hello, Toastmasters. I was standing in line behind around 4 to 5 guys to talk to the professor who had just finished his presentation at a conference. The line was moving slow. So after a few seconds, a guy pulled up right next to me and introduced himself. I'm Mr. So-and-so from New Jersey. We offer services to companies like yours to improve the productivity. Would you like to hear more about it after you speak with the professor? The line wasn't moving. I said, why don't you describe right here? He started talking about things. Then I realized the line is moving, but this guy is not letting me go. So because of that, a guy from behind passed me and stood in the front. Unfortunately, even before this guy could get to the professor, he left. If this guy was not holding me up, I would run behind the professor and would speak with him about the things that I was about to discuss with him. I'm very sure that all of you have faced a situation like this in your life, where you start out to do something, somebody would come along and change the course of your action plan. Sometimes it can be very drastic, life-changing. I know a few examples. But most of the times, this is just an inconvenience or irritation in your life. I'll share with you a few examples. When I was working for my previous company here in Lexington, I had a very chatty colleague. When I was about to leave to go home in the evening, he would just come up to me and start talking about his newborn son. All the cute things he does, how cute he is, and all that stuff. For a few minutes, it's okay, right? I say, oh, nice, that's cute. And then he keeps going while my mind has already left the building and reached Arlington, where I live. One of the worst situations, this happened a few times, but this incident I remember very clearly. A guy from the other department stopping me right in front of the bathroom. I was going in, he was coming out, and started asking about a program that we were working on. He said, I heard you guys are cooking up something. Why don't you get me involved? I know how to package things and present it to the management. We can do this, we can do that. He went on and on for a long time. And then he asked me, what do you think? And I said, what do I think? My bladder is full and it's pressing like a 9-month-old baby. Not that I know how it feels, but you get my point. And then you're asking me how I feel. I have to go, that's how I feel. You would think all of these guys would be able to read your face, just like Brendan. People cannot read the face. And then take action based on how you would react. Some people just don't care. I will tell you. Especially in this case, he's coming out of the bathroom. He's not under pressure. For a long time now, when people call up, I don't pick up the phone when I have my dinner or lunch at work or at my office. Many years ago, I do have 4 or 5 people in my family and friend circle who somehow feel obligated to hold the line for a long period of time. It's not that they have something great to talk about. So, what else? They keep repeating the same thing. What's new? We just spoke 15 days ago, man. What new things can be there? And then one day, all of a sudden, I had an enlightenment. I don't have to pick up the phone. So since that point, I don't pick up the phone. I told my close family friends and some friends and family members that if there is something urgent, please call me for the second time. Then I know it is really important. Though it's very tough to believe my mother. She can call many times for no reasons, I will tell you. I know many years ago, 8 years ago, when my daughter was born, I was with my wife in the Mount Auburn Hospital. There was no cell phone signal. After everything is done, I went outside to see if I can get the signal. Then I saw 11 missed calls from my mother. I'm very sure she wanted to know what's going on for every 5 minutes. I know, Mom, but don't you think I have something more important to tend to? Stephen R. Covey, did I pronounce that right? Stephen R. Covey. Covey, yeah, the author of the book 7 Habits of the Highly Effective People, very popular book. He also has written a book called First Things First. Very interesting book. If you have not read it, just read that book, where he talks about prioritizing your life and activities based on the importance and the urgency. He describes a beautiful two-dimensional 4-quadrant matrix where you can put both of these into different quadrants. First quadrant being everything is important, everything is urgent. Second, less important, urgent. Less urgent, more important. The last one is being less important, less urgent. If you place your activities and priorities based on that, you can take action accordingly. It's tough to manage your life completely based on this. Life can be boring if you go that way. But if you stick to the overall framework of this principle, your life will be easier and more organized. I wish I had some thoughts about how to go away from a person who holds you up and talk about himself and herself for a long period of time, or cut a phone conversation where the other person calls you and then he doesn't know what to do without being offensive. I would look forward to some thoughts from you, but I will tell you, it's always better to pay attention for a brief period of time and then leave the scene than staying there and not listening. It's not only disrespectful, but also dangerous. Why dangerous? I will tell you, I have a few incidences. Realizing that you're not listening, he can ask questions. Oh, can you repeat that number? I just want to make sure you got that right. And then you say, what number? That's awkward. On a serious note, as long as you do not allow these so-called time wasters in the first quadrant of your work priorities, where everything is urgent, everything is important, then you're good. You can manage the rest of the activities by yourself without any problem. But as far as listening is concerned, if you cannot pay attention, just leave the place. Make up any story and leave the place. If you decide to stay, please pay attention. That's a respectful thing to do. Thank you.